welcome back to my channel if you're returning, or welcome if you're new. So the secret is hip hinges in a range of motion. Although it is that simple, it's not that simple. So let me save you from the Google spiral. Hip hinge exercises are exercises that are dominant in the glute muscle being used to make that movement happen. They are the best way to isolate your glutes so that you're not targeting any other muscle groups by accident. Like, let's say you're trying to grow only your butt and you're not trying to grow your quads or your calves or your torso or any of that stuff. You just want to isolate that one part. Other popular exercises can accidentally get your quads or hammies or other parts. When you actually use a good mixture of hip hinge exercises, it helps get that muscle working even more versus the other muscle groups. So what do I mean by hip hinge, and what does that even look like? So hip hinge exercises puts the movement primarily in your hips, and you aren't moving anything else when you are doing this movement. So that means to move the weight that you may have on your hips, or to get yourself to come back up if you're in a bend position from the hip point, any of those. It requires you to only use your glutes, contracting it and pulling it together to be able to come back to the starting point. This forces them to go overtime because this is the only thing available to actually complete the movement. If you were to do an exercise like Romanian deadlifts or good mornings, things like that, where you bend over with a slight bend in your knees and then you try to come back up and you're keeping your spine neutral, meaning it's straight and it's not like going forward or going backward excessively, it's just neutral. When coming back up, you're going to realize that you're going to need your glutes to come back up because you can't use your back, you can't use your torso, you can't bend your knees, you can't use any of that stuff. So you're left having to squeeze together your glutes to come back up. So what are some exercises that can isolate the glutes? My personal favorite is hip thrusts. Hip thrust, hip thrust, hip thrust. You can also do this without weight to start to get the muscles engaged, warm them up, get used to the movement too. And the secret seasoning to this is to make sure that your chin is tucked when you're doing this, because then this will cause a sort of like scooping motion in the booty region. And when you come back up, you are going to feel it way more than if you were to just like, you know, just kind of like swivel your body up and down and like have that movement. If your back is just planted and your chin is tucked, you have no choice but to only move that one body part. And basically this scooping motion in general is what will fire the glutes intensely. This can work among many exercises too, like if you were to do glute focused back extension, or if you were to be doing squats and you're coming back up and you kind of come up with a scooping motion instead of just straight up, you're gonna feel it there too. And to tear down those muscles even more, I would strongly recommend using a booty band for warm-ups, and also when you're using like a light bar weight or just the bar weight itself, if you're in a gym that has those like Olympian bars, just using the bar and then your booty band that's on your legs, close to your knees. Wow, oh my God. It is going to cause so much more intense firing because it's putting tension on those muscles that you need to help with that scooping motion. So you're getting the sides of your leg, you're getting the deep part of your glute, and it also helps with like the shelf booty part too. So some of my other favorite exercises are Romanian deadlifts, and then the glute focused back extensions. Those are superb. And also back squats too. Now, in addition to that, range of motion also plays a huge part in getting the muscle to fire in your glutes. And it does this in a sense where like the stopping point where most times you're supposed to be stopping at is not the stopping point when you are using a range of motion approach. So instead of, for instance, the leg press, which I should have mentioned is also another one of my favorites, the leg press machine, usually there is a certain stopping point that has your legs at a 90-degree angle when you're in the seat, but I go beyond that 90-degree angle and I go into a sharper angle, and this starts to resemble a bit of a pistol squat type of movement. This deep motion then causes those muscles that were otherwise not in use to be in use, because at that point, the muscles that are contracting to come back up include your glutes. Maybe if you were to be stopping at that 90-degree angle like you usually do on a leg press, it won't need the assistance of your glute muscles because it doesn't go that deep down to require that muscle to come back up. However, when you go down that deep, it starts to put a bit of a stretch down there. And that stretch is exactly what you need to be able to attack those muscles in a different way. So this is where I started to realize there's not really a right or wrong way to do certain exercises depending on what your goal is. The wrong way to do an exercise is if the exercise causes injury to you. Other than that, if it is attacking the muscle that you want, it's a-okay. It is totally good. So if you are limited in weights or limited to a section in the gym, or maybe you just want to keep it simple, playing with your range of motion will definitely be a way to get that stretch and that firing that you need with the workouts that you're already doing. Maybe it just takes as simple as just going deeper or holding it longer or holding that muscle so that it can contract some more. All of those things play a part in destroying down your muscles so that they can regrow. And that's really ultimately the goal, challenging your muscle in a way that sends a signal, hey, I'm breaking you down. I need you to start getting stronger, building up yourself more so that you can handle what I'm doing the next time. That's basically what you're telling your muscles to do. So go ahead and give that a try. If you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. It lets me know that I should keep doing videos just like this. And until next time, see ya. Bye.